How's it going, everyone? Welcome to episode 6 of Conspirial. I'm your host, Addison Rose.
And I'm fresh to fucking death. Look at this haircut.
It is a very nice haircut. I like the lines you got going on.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
like
a
them too.
nice... I'm assuming that's why you got them.
Yeah.
Because you like them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, right on. Party on, Wayne. Today, I'm very excited. I've been waiting for this episode since the beginning. I know I've told everyone before how she's the ghost expert and I'm the alien kind of expert. And so today we are going to dive into UFOs, aliens, that whole genre. But we're not going to do, I guess, because there's so many stories, right? There's so much out there. So instead of just diving into, is it possible or are they really out there?
I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I believe too. I mean, just the sheer statistics of it all. The fact that there's millions upon billions of galaxies, millions upon billions of universes potentially, parallel universes, all that sort of thing. There has to be at least one other Earth-like planet with life and that sort of thing, right? So I'm not going to do... We decided we're not going to do a thing on, is it possible, are they out there? We both think they are. If you don't, comment why.
You're whack.
The people that think that?
That don't.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the odds are against you. The odds will forever be against you. But so we're gonna dive into just stories or events that we feel are very interesting, and then we're gonna have a couple of personal stories or annotations that we heard
Just
and
one.
kind of round it out. I got two. So freshly cut, is that your name today? Is that what you said? I'm freshly cut?
No, I'm fresh to death.
Fresh to death. I'm sorry. Miss
STD.
Death. Alright, better than STD. If you want to go first.
STI.
Sorry, never had either. So, if you want to start us off.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you the story of the spaceman from Vancouver Island. Dun dun.
Ooh, hey.
His name is Granger Taylor, which I think is so funny.
I just thought of Hermione was the first thing.
Right. This is the story of Hermione.
Or was expelled.
Okay, so Granger Taylor, whose disappearance happened in 1980 in Vancouver Island, has been haunting the island ever since. The story, not like him as a ghost.
Oh, I was like, man, this is an alien and ghost crossover.
No.
I was about to be, they're on another level. Okay, all right.
Okay, so
Focus.
Granger, his middle name was Ormond Taylor. They did him dirty.
You never had a
They
chance.
named him that, and then they wanted him to be normal.
How is his last name the only name that's relatively
Right,
normal?
he could have just been Taylor. He was born.
Try T, bro.
He was born October 7th, 1948, in a logging and fishing town called Duncan in British Columbia. Which, when I think about British Columbia, I think about Colombians that are British.
Not quite the same.
That's what I think about.
I would love to see.
If you're a British Colombian, comment below.
Have you seen those? I'm sorry. Have you seen those videos of like
British Colombians?
There's like a whole group of like Asians in like Louisiana that have like the Louisiana accent, but they're Asian. It's I'm sorry. It's just the funniest thing in the world to me because you just don't expect. Well, you brought British people, Colombian people that have British accents. That's what first came to my mind. They're like, oh, they're gonna get them gator boy, but they're not. They're not. Sorry. All right.
People from Louisiana follow me.
Follow me too.
He's
I guess
weird.
I'm just appreciative of full circle. But sorry.
So, Granger's bio dad died when he was a baby by drowning.
Oh, but that's not offensive. Okay. Dumbass can't swim.
Sorry, I write this and then I forget about it.
Sure. Yeah.
And then, so I'm shocked. I'm genuinely shocked. when I'm
Like,
reading
oh,
these.
for real?
Yeah.
That didn't look like shot. They look like... I mean, that was a laugh.
In northwesterly Horn Lake during a family vacation to the family cabin. Granger's mom, when he was 2, her name is Grace, married widower Jim Taylor, who had children from a previous relationship, which that was pointed out.
So he was a widower
Yeah.
and left her a widow. The Circle of Life.
No.
Sorry.
She was married to, who knows what his bio dad's name is. Married to his bio dad drowns. And then she marries
Gotcha.
a
We're
guy
on the
who's a
stepdad.
widow.
Okay, yeah.
Granger would grow up with 7 siblings, 3 biological, 3 step siblings, and 1 half brother.
That's too much.
From an early age, it became clear that his mom and stepdad that he was an unusual child. They named him fucking Granger. Granger, most of his childhood, stayed locked in his room tinkering with toys and gadgets to find out how it worked. So he would pull toys and gadgets apart and then put them back together. That was his pastime.
Good for him.
So basically, my boy Granger was super fucking smart, but school was not a vibe for him. So he dropped out in the 8th grade.
Not a vibe.
Not a vibe. Shortly after he dropped out, he began apprenticing for his neighbor, a mechanic, and took all the knowledge that his mentor would give him. So he was just obsessed with fixing and putting things back together.
We need those people.
And after a year of his apprenticeship, Granger decided that he had acquired all the knowledge he needed to strike out on his own. So he set up shop on his parents' property and began to work on his own projects that he would later sell to collectors and provincial government for mad fucking stacks. So the shit he made would sell. At 14 years old, he built a single-cylinder automobile, which is now displayed at Duncan's BC Forest Discovery Center. So when I tell you this dude was smart, my boy was smart.
I wish I knew what that meant.
You can't even
a
build
single
a
cylinder.
table.
I have no idea what that means.
I don't know, V1?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just another. I just don't like. I wish I knew more about cars. I know you put gas in it. You need an oil change. You know.
It tells you when it needs the oil change.
That's my point. If it didn't, I mean, it sounds awesome. I just really wish I knew what that meant.
Right. 3 years later, he rebuilt an abandoned bulldozer that was that professional heavy-duty mechanics had dismissed as unsalvageable. So all these guys who have been in the field for years were like, this is unfixable, and he was like, bet, and fixed it. He loved mysteries. He loved solving things. In his 20s, he decided to fix a steam locomotive he found rusting in the rainforest that had trees growing through. It took Granger... Yeah, a steam train that he found in the rainforest. What rainforest? I don't know. I didn't know there was rainforests in British Columbia. I don't know if he was in British Columbia when he found it.
Yeah.
But he went to a rainforest. It took Granger 2 years to restore the train into full working order, where so he ends up laying tracks around his parents' backyard where he does all of his work, and he would give rides to the neighbor kids, which gave me very much
How big is this backyard to have a steam locomotive in it?
I mean, it's big.
It's gotta be huge. Like, it's not like those little trains like you see at like dinky malls and shit, right? Like, I mean, it's a train.
It's a train,
like,
yeah.
He's gonna run a train.
Yeah. On New Year's Eve 1969, something super sus happened in the Cowichan District Hospital, not too far from Granger's home. At about 5 a.m., while treating patients in the geriatric wing, 4 nurses working the night shift allegedly saw a silent, bright flying saucer hovering outside the window of about 3 stories off the ground near the children's ward. So imagine you're in the elders ward and multiple nurses see it. Oh, this hovering.
And it's not like they're gonna trust the old people, right? They're like, I saw it. You know, it's gonna be like, no, calm down, Randy. But nurses?
Randy was in bed after taking his meds, and he doesn't even know his name is Randy, but the nurses saw. Later that morning and throughout the following night, the townspeople of Duncan and the surrounding areas, including a handful of elementary school teachers, a pilot for the Royal Canadian Naval Air Forces, and a pilot of the Royal Canadian Naval Air Forces, came forward with reports of similar-looking UFOs spotted throughout the area. So it wasn't just the nurses. It was lots of people around the area. That's what they saw.
So it was high enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it could have been, I don't know, cruising.
Down the street?
Mm-hmm.
In my 6 foot. Okay. I think I made that joke earlier on a different podcast. I think I did. I probably fucking did. God damn it.
So after hearing about all of this, he got bit by the alien bug like we did. He became a big fan.
I really wanted you to say he got bit by an alien.
He got bit
just came,
by an alien.
Yeah.
End of story.
Bye. Just want to taste.
So after that, he was like, this mechanic shit, not for me anymore. I'm going to learn about the dynamics of air travel. And he earned his pilot license.
I would have loved to have met this man.
Oh, he sounded so cool. By the late 1970s, after he got his license and still worked in mechanics, he was like, this is fucking boring. I'm ready to build a UFO.
God, there's shit in the air, bro.
Yeah, right. You see it? Everybody saw it.
Yeah.
So he decided to build a UFO. Or try to find out as much research to build a UFO or how to communicate with extraterrestrials because Demi Lovato said alien was offensive.
I don't think we should be judging our actions based upon what Demi Lovato says.
And during the time, no engineer had been able to build an engine that would enable a huge metallic disc to maneuver as tightly and fast and silently through the air as the flying saucers that people saw that night. Granger Taylor decided to take a crack at this, and he began construction of his real-life flying saucer because he was smart as fuck. Granger started by building a private office the same size and shape of a UFO. He decorated the sides of his UFO with a lightning bolt design and a port-like window. He built his UFO with cast iron and a burning wood stove.
Yes.
He put a couch and a telly in it.
Ain't gonna work. It's way too heavy.
I think he so
you gotta start somewhere.
From
I get
all
it.
the things I was reading, he was getting in the mindset of I'm an alien. If I was an alien, how would I build? So he needed a space to go and brainstorm, and he's like, all right. Granger stocked his new pad with science fiction book novels and pseudoscientific books on UFOs. 1979 through 1980, Granger spent most of his time slaying pussy in the UFO. I mean, alone reading all of the books.
Whoa, Jesus Christ, right. Like, damn, go Granger. Fucking slay that pussy.
Nah, I wish he would have.
He probably. I'm assuming he had a missus, right?
No.
Poor guy. He's just fucking slow jerking it in the goddamn UFO.
No one said he was slow jerking.
He probably slow jerked.
He was reading.
Maybe not slowly, but he definitely jerked it in that fucking couch.
See, it's those things that I write and I forgot all about. So I'm reading it normal and I'm like.
I'm just saying that I jerk it at least once in there. See how it felt.
See how it felt? You think aliens jerk it?
I don't think if okay, hold on. Let's pause it. Let's pause it. So okay, I think they can make themselves come like mentally. I don't think they physically have to. Or what do y'all do like that? Double click the mouse, right?
What do y'all do?
You scroll.
What do you do?
And then you double click. Ours is that, but y'all like scroll.
You're nasty.
I'm just saying, like, if we're talking about physically,
You're weird.
Would they have to physically? I think they can mentally come. Does that make sense?
No.
All right.
Then one night,
I think they're beyond.
Shut the fuck up.
All right.
Then one night while Granger was in bed, he got the message he was waiting for. He got a "you up" text from the alien.
Hey, bro. Nice cock. I see that.
I see what you're doing there.
All right, go slower for
teach
Poppy.
you better.
Yeah. Space Daddy. Oh, yeah.
He says he got communication, and we'll find out how. So during this time, he had taken in. It said like a miscreant teenager, which I thought was rude. So I wrote that he had taken in just a regular old teen under his wing and was teaching him his ways. And he told him, bro, some fucking aliens hit me up.
What? I'm sorry. Did I miss how they hit him up?
I'm getting there.
All right. Sorry.
Yeah, and not the Mexican aliens, like extraterrestrial, like from space.
Go Raiders. Yeah.
So months after the incident, Granger tried hitting them back up with a radio. Some weird. Stop reading my notes.
I'm looking over here. I'm actually not. I'm trying to.
He built this radio that he thought he could communicate, and he just spent hours and hours a day trying to communicate with the aliens. Granger would go on to have telepathic conversations with the non-Mexican aliens. And that's how I wrote it.
I mean, we don't know that
They're extraterrestrial. Mexico is terrestrial.
That's fair.
October 1989, a Stoke Granger confided in Keller and another friend named Bob that the aliens had invited him.
Named Bob.
Named Bob.
All right.
That the aliens had invited him on a trip throughout the Milky Way galaxy. I can show you the
Sign me up, bro. I'd climb on that magic carpet.
Your president and teacher don't be joyriding with strangers.
It would be such a great way to die. Like
fuck
after
that.
seeing the Milky Way,
I'm
like
good.
bro,
Aliens,
like
if you're watching this, don't pick me up.
like you're talking about that come after seeing the Milky Way galaxy. Like, I'm gonna add to it. I'm busting that load. Like Jesus. No, all right.
No.
Tough crowd. Tough crowd.
It's always weird. You just want to keep talking about your load.
I was talking about his first of all,
Okay.
and then it became mine.
That's even weirder.
All right.
Anyways, his homies didn't entirely believe him, suspecting that he had strange what?
Of course they wouldn't believe.
No, they didn't entirely believe him, but they also not believed him either. So they were like, I mean, he's pretty fucking smart, but what if this was just dreams he's having? I don't know. Granger told the squad that he could not, because the homies were like, can we come? And he was like, nah, y'all can't. You got a lot to leave behind. I don't, basically.
Right.
He said his green homies planned on picking him up on a rainy night so that the general public wouldn't see their spaceship.
Makes sense. Following.
November 29th, 1980, in the town of Duncan. The town of Duncan was rocked by what newspapers called the storm of the century. Thunder, lightning, I was going to say terrestrial rain. Torrential rain, I don't know what that is. If you know, comment below. Winds that were fucking tearing shit apart, uprooting trees, and fucking up their power lines. At 6 p.m., right before the worst of the storm, Granger paid a visit to Bob's Grills, where that was his spot. He always went there to eat. I think this is funny that the waitress remembered this. The waitress who served his meal noticed Granger was dressed in his regular fit, but didn't have a coat with him and was clearly not prepared for the weather that day.
Okay.
Yeah. 6:30 p.m., 32-year-old Granger Taylor paid his bill, left the diner, and drove off in his 1972 light blue Datsun truck and was never seen again.
Oh shit. All right. I did not. All right.
The following day, Taylor's parents were like, where the fuck is he? And they went to dig through his stuff and dig through his room, and his stepdad found a note to that was taped to the mom's bedroom door. So I don't know, they opened it, they were like, where the fuck he at, and looked everywhere, and then went back to the room and saw the note. I don't know how that went.
So I'm sorry. What year was this again? Like ballpark? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
1972. Oh no,
72?
sorry, my bad. 1980.
Wow. So you said he was born in like the 48 or something like that. You don't have to. Yeah, but it was like mid to late 40s. So this guy is
Yeah, he
almost
was
like
born in 48.
48. So he's like almost 40 years old, late 30s ish, and he's still living with his parents.
Well, that's where he has his shop.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's cool that his parents were able to like, he ain't home, and because usually you wouldn't hear about that for like several days later
Right?
or whatever. So it's kind of cool that it was
Right?
that quick. Sorry, it's exciting.
So the note read, Dear Mother and Father, I have gone away to walk abroad an alien ship, as reoccurring dreams assured me of a 42-month interstellar voyage to explore the vast universe and return. I am leaving behind all my possessions to you. I will no longer require the use of any. Please use my instructions in my will as a guide to help. Love, Granger. On the back of the note was a hand-drawn map, which People have interpreted it as a depiction of a Waterloo Mountain located about 10 miles of the Taylor home.
Okay. Nice pickup spot. Yeah.
Right.
Scenic.
Jim Taylor and his sons searched every fucking where for Granger. Hospitals, lonely roads, everywhere that they thought he would be, and they found nothing. They found no clue of him. They didn't find his tribe. Nothing.
Hey.
They looked through his wall and found out that he replaced every word that was deceased with departed throughout the document. So it's kind of like he knew he wasn't coming back.
Okay. Fucking wild.
Weeks passed, months passed, and years passed, and there was no sign of Granger. June 29th, 1983, the day Granger was supposed to return from his trip from space, Granger's stepbrother Douglas Taylor, who worked for the Canadian Coast Guard at the time, sat out half the night on the deck of his patrol boat, scanning the night sky for any sign of Granger and his alien spacecraft. All hope was lost because the ship never came, and neither did his brother. April 1986, 6 years after Granger's disappearance, a municipal work crew discovered an artificial crater several meters in diameter off Mount Provost Road, in the slopes of either Mount Prevost or northeasterly Sycamore Mountain, so around where he drew the map.
Okay.
Scattered in the area of the crater was rusted and discolored fragments of what appeared to have been a truck.
I was hoping they took his whip with him, but they just destroyed it.
They were just lifting him up. The local Royal Canadian Mounted Police investigated the scene and discovered 2 shards of what turned out to be human bone not far from the area. After this find, everyone believed that these bones were the last remains of Granger, but at the time DNA was new and it wasn't available to that police, so it was never confirmed if it really was his remains, but it was like 2 bone fragments. Where's the rest of him?
But they still have it though, right? They can still.
I mean, I guess they could.
Let's say, run the DNA. Right?
After this find, new theories came out about Granger's disappearances. Like maybe on the night that he was supposed to leave, he packed his truck full of dynamite to which
Okay.
which was normal.
Reasonable.
It was normal in the area to do that because it was used for removing tree stumps in the wilderness. So it was something common.
Okay.
Yeah, and they thought maybe he blew himself up in his car.
Strict gun laws in Canada, but dynamite, fuck it, right? Yeah.
And
No judgment, Canada. It was just a joke. So.
he hates Canada.
Not really.
And Louisiana people.
Love your syrup.
So another theory was that he died by suicide because the UFO mystery consumed him, and it would have been the only mystery that would have stumped him, essentially. So they're thinking that he made up this whole alien thing and played it out for months, and went and took care of himself somewhere, and they thought that he was sparing pain for his family by saying like, oh, the aliens took me. But his ride or dies were adamant that Granger Taylor was not suicidal. People like his late mother Grace, his friend Robert, do believe that Granger was picked up by extraterrestrials on that stormy night, just like he said he would be. So, where is Granger? Were those his remains? Did he die by suicide? Or is he still happily traveling space, feeding his thirst for knowledge? I guess we'll never know.
That's wild. It makes me think like.
And this was pretty recent.
What if it was like an accident, right? So just hold on,
Like 1980.
like follow me, right? So like he drives his truck up there to get picked up, and he sees like the spaceship, right? He's like, all right, beam me up, and like the guy in the ship like hits the wrong button, like he doesn't hit the tractor beam
Imagine they
button.
sent the incompetent guy.
He hits the laser button and just goes, and he just dies, right? Like, oh, I hit the wrong laser button, right? He's like, let's dip. And they're just out, bro. Like, oh, fuck that guy, I
They're
guess.
like, send Freddy to pick up our spaceman, our human person. He can't fuck that up, right?
Drinking some like Pluto moonshine. Like, oh, I'm too hungover to drive. Like, can you go pick up Granger? His fucking name's
He's been waiting for this moment his whole life because he's one of the aliens that came out dumbass. He's like, fuck, I got this.
This is my
He
chance,
doesn't
right?
even have a driver's license for the spaceship, but he says he does.
He's like, oh, you know how we put like the tractor beam button next to like the laser beam button? We need to have a better identification system, man. I hit the wrong one. What happened to Granger?
It was just the most incompetent alien that they said.
Oh, he's around, like in pieces.
You still want him?
Left the bones. No.
God damn it, Tim.
There was a storm. Why we pick this day?
Yeah, we picked this day so the humans wouldn't see us. Do you not
I
understand?
fucked up, man. I'm sorry.
Fuck.
That's crazy, though.
We were gonna teach him.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Poor.
For
I know I was advocating to pick me up earlier, but don't send that guy. Can we get like a goddamn professional over here to come get me and we'll do the universe? I can't build shit though.
Can you leave
I
me a
can't.
replacement to co-host with me though?
Yeah, not that guy though. Whoever that
I
guy.
want the
whoever-
interview. I want his side of the story of
You-
what he did to Granger.
Right, but you want him to be your host, right? He'll be like, oh, hey guys. I don't know why he sounds like that in my mind. I just he has to sound incompetent, right? Like, oh, hey. Oh, it's the first time driving.
He's the one alien that
Oh.
smokes doobie from.
So I just got this new shit from
Earth.
fucking Uranus, dude. That Uranus grass. Woo. Yeah, like no, like shit. Yeah, God, that's fucking wild.
And he doesn't
though.
even think he did anything wrong. I was,
I
that
ju-
is what it is.
Did-
They were like, he was crucial.
I did my best, dude. Fuck. I guess rule number 1: don't name your kid Granger. I think that was the start of all his.
Everything.
Yeah, that's wild. Though. Test the bone. You sell the bone.
I don't know.
They have to sell the bones.
Why don't you call them?
Canada.
Vancouver.
Justin Trudeau, hey, listen. I know you're getting hit on that blackface thing. Test the bones. Test the bones. Let's find out. Because we're like, how if he was picked up legitimately?
Bone fragments. So 2 bone fragments.
Right, yeah,
Can
but
you
like
test
what?
that? Oh yeah, you have to, right?
I mean, they can do like mitochondrial.
What if they didn't keep it? What
DNA.
if they?
Oh fuck these bones!
Yeah,
And just
it
yeet them
happens
over
all
the
the
cliff.
time. I
Yeah.
was listening to a podcast about a girl who got sexually assaulted, and like the detective on her case was like super like rape shaming. She was like, I just worked. She would call and be like, I just worked on this rape. This was a bad one. And the girl was like, I'm sorry, I got like the Ritz-Carlton of rapes. And it went on for like, I don't know, like
They leave them in on your pillow afterwards. Like,
yeah.
here you go.
There you go.
Thanks
They
for
don't
listening.
hold a knife to your neck.
I mean, yeah. Who said chivalry's dead? Not those razors.
So she says that around the time where finally it was gonna go to trial, the detective called her and was like, "Sorry, we lost your rape kit." Yeah. It feels like I feel like all police departments are like that.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. Like we had like here in Texas, we had like thousands of rape
Just
kits that just
untested.
haven't been tested. Like we got
We
them.
still do.
Yeah, I was about to say we have like a library. What the fuck do you call it? Like just a whole. Got them on file, but not even on file. They weren't tested. It's like
So it's not on file.
we have them to sniff. I don't know. What do you do with a whole bunch of?
Rape
Okay,
kits.
it's just. God damn, that's why. Where's Granger, bro?
I like to think that he's building steam engines. Well, how old would he be now? Like in his 80s, 90s?
Dead? Like he's born in 48? Yeah, he's got to be.
No, because my grandpa was born in the 30s. He's still alive.
That's true. They probably have. Yeah, I mean, he old though. Like
Yeah.
he old.
Yeah, but what if they have like some bomb ass Botox?
He's
and-
probably in like a human zoo. Like look what we got. They
Not
still use
Granger.
steam. You know what I mean? Like,
He's giving the little aliens a ride around their humans.
That's what's so like crazy about like, just like theories on the universe and whether and the whole argument with have we really been contacted before and
Telepathy.
and well yeah well just the whole thing right there's like the zoo theory like they I don't know if that's the official name of the theory but the only time aliens come and visit us is just like how you go to the zoo like to see the monkeys at the fucking thing like well, look what they're doing now right and like the whole thing of
That's embarrassing.
yeah that's the thing if we're talking about an advanced civilization and going on with that like our as humans our closest ancestors are like bonobo chimps right and we share 99% of the same DNA as the bonobo chimps, right? So there's only a 1% difference, right?
They're in their stone age right now.
Right,
aren't they?
which is impressive. Yeah, yes, but we still look at them as monkeys. We go see them in
Not
the
me though. I've
we
never
go-
seen Planet of the Apes, but I heard about it, and I'm not
so
messing
good.
with.
It's so good.
With
You should
no
watch
apes.
it. But yeah, but like,
No
but
monkeys.
but how we look at bonobo chimps is even if they were 1% different, higher than us, that's how they will look at us, right? So it's so crazy, right? So I mean, so yeah, they might pick them up, put them in a zoo. I mean, there's all these theories of all that stuff. That's crazy though. That's a great story. That's a great
told you
story.
it was a good
I'm
one.
so
I told you it was a good one.
I'm so shook. Mine. We'll switch over to mine, right? So mine happened a little bit more recently. Mine took place in 1994, and I'm gonna give you like a little taste.
When I was one.
I'm gonna give you a little taste of what it's about, right? So it happened in, I'm gonna mispronounce so many names in this because it happened in Zimbabwe. Nailed that one, but it happened in Rua, Zimbabwe, on September 16th, 1994. 62 children, which we can all agree is a lot. It's a lot of children. 62 children, ages from 6 to 12 at the, I don't know if it's Ariel or Ario, saw a silver UFO land at a field near their school. Right? Creatures dressed in all black
They had that
approached...
That Chrome.
That Google Chrome? Wait, what are you saying?
Like the alien spaceship.
Oh, no!
Oh!
That was an unplanned. I'm gonna just. Phone's listening to us, man. That's crazy. I did not like that at all.
You have it programmed to your
That's-
voice, though.
No, that Google bitch. She always listens, like no matter what you're doing.
You don't got nothing interesting that she gives a shit about.
She decided to chime in. I'm gonna recalibrate. That messed me up. That's funny as hell. So
I'm one of those people that's nice to robots. I saw iRobot. I ain't getting killed.
Me too. So let's stop it before we get to that point. Under the table. All right. So creatures dressed in all black approached the children, spoke.
So it was emo aliens, aliens.
I mean, I'm sure it was just slimming. You know, you're on that long voyage. You're probably eating high carbs, and you just want to look good for the
Garlic bread.
62 children. So they spoke telepathically to them, and this was called the greatest close encounter of the third kind in the 90s, which makes me think, what are the other ones? Like what? Like is there some? I mean, I know the movie, right?
The
Spielberg,
Fourth Kind.
right? Well, that happened. Like, so yeah, it's a great segue. So I kind of wanted to break down the four different kinds of alien encounters, just to kind of give you all a perspective of what I'm actually going to talk about here. So you have the close encounter of the first kind. It's just a visual, like, what the fuck is that? That's crazy, right? So the second kind is like the first kind, but a little bit more enhanced, right? So it's the visual, but there also can be a level of interference that messes with like a vehicle or like radio waves and that sort of
I forgot
thing.
to say in my story that they actually saw aliens in the spaceship, like the nurses, because it was so close to the area.
Okay, so that's actually the third kind, right? So it's
when
you
you
see
them?
you see an entity present that's like a humanoid, robot,
Fuck
or
that. I wanna see none
or
of that.
humans or pilots of a UFO. So that would be a third kind, and that's actually what this
I ain't trying
was.
to meet none of them.
And the fourth kind, after contact, is abduction. Is actually you're gone. So yours
Do you
had
think
yours
aliens are,
definitely.
like, sex traffickers of the universe?
I don't think they're banging us necessarily. I mean, I'm sure they got that WAP like crazy, like intergalactic WAP, right? I'm sure. All that experience, right? I would imagine we're talking about like.
You're weird. You keep bringing it back to this.
Well, no, you said sex trafficking. I'm sure they. I think
You're
they.
trying
I
to
think
make
I
it
think
sexy. You said they had a WAP.
is WAP not sexy?
Yeah, you're trying to make sex trafficking aliens sexy.
Oh no, I'm not. Oh yeah, well, no. I mean, I think they do experiments on us like we do with animals. Now I know there's
I'll
some
do
people.
that.
I know there's some people who fuck animals. That's not what I'm talking about, right? But, So yours was a bit a third, and until allegedly he got brought with them, and that's
That's like the seventh
that
time.
that's the no, that's the fourth. Abducting is definitely the fourth.
Fuck that.
So
Leave me here.
so since this was in Rua, Zimbabwe, in the early to mid '90s, right? Rua was described as a little more than a crossroads and an agricultural area, right? So not a big place. It's very close to the capital of the area, but
So
but
it's
the,
not like near airports or the army or something like that. for them
well, I
to
mean,
see,
well, I
like-
mean, it's near the capital, so I'm sure they have like something like that. But this is kind of like
It's not like being
what
next
would
to
be.
Area 51, right?
Well, no, that's a hidden sort of thing. Will y'all calm the fuck down,
What
throwing
is
goddamn
going
shit in my
on?
goddamn back? I'm trying to talk to my goddamn audience over here, goddamn making a fucking ruckus. Anyway, so what I equivalate to is like, you know how we kind of live in the DFW bubble,
Yeah.
but there are still those towns in the DFW bubble that are
Like Jefferson,
like
Texas.
Jefferson, Texas. Yeah, just like that. So it's a little more rural and that sort of thing. So it's close-ish to a major area,
Okay.
but it's an offshoot. But what's cool or interesting about the aerial school, that's just what I'm calling it. I'm not going to keep aerial.
Little Mermaid?
Yeah. The seaweed.
So it's good.
Yep. So it was actually an expensive private school in the area. So most of the pupils were wealthy white
You're
children.
gonna say most of the pews.
Most of the pubes were white. Dumbledore style white.
Oh, they're
like
white.
he had,
I don't believe them.
well, no, but I mean, most of them were, but they did have.
White kids be capping.
No, hold on, but there were still a lot of people of
Simple.
color at the school, right?
I believe
school.
them.
Yes. So
Sorry.
So-
I'm very passionate about this because I used to babysit these two little white boys, and they called their mom and told them I was sleeping on the job, and I was not.
I thought you were gonna say they called you an alien or like something. I thought that's
No,
where
no,
I was
that's just the
going.
kids in my
Like,
middle school.
fucking, yeah. Oh. Y'all a host for that. So
I was mad at them kids. I was not sleeping on the job. Y'all got they got their last babysitter fired for that. That's why I don't trust these little white kids.
and that's why
I'm
they'll
still mad.
and that's why they'll never find the bodies, right? I mean,
No, they're
Parents.
out there in college, probably lying about other shit.
with Granger.
Not with Granger. They were not
Sorry.
smart.
Sorry.
Ooh.
So 2 days prior to September 16th, so that would obviously be the 14th, but there was actually a high concentrated number of UFO sightings in that area, right? It was described as a bright fireball passing through the night skies. And I want to be, fair to the other side of skeptics and that sort of thing, right? Because the thing about, unfortunately, a lot of stories, whether you want to talk about aliens, UFOs, I think we can all agree a high number, people are full of shit. People don't know what they're saying, but I do think there are stories that are true.
I know when we were at the lake and we reviewed the video, I was like, oh fuck, is that an alien? And we were like, no, it's a goddamn star.
Yeah, no, it was a plane. Like, I saw the flashy light. You see, you're blind, so you can't see that far. So I was like, no, they got the little boop. Like it was going
fuck,
boop.
I keep seeing lights
know.
like orbs pass by, and you were like, those are fucking planes.
As a plane. It's all right, yeah. Anyway, so that fireball could have been described as it could have been a comet or a meteor. So let's be fair. And one gentleman actually claimed that it was the re-entry of the Zenit 2 rocket. And when the boosters broke up in the burning streaks and moved silently across the sky, giving an impressive light show to millions of Africans. So like it would have been, this rocket could have been bright enough for
So it was
all
a
these.
It was a light show.
I mean, anything's a rave if you try hard enough, and I think that's important. Try hard enough to make it a rave. You can make this a rave. Comment below your raves.
I've never been to a rave, so if someone wants to take me, follow me on my Insta. And
They're only good if what you take is
I'm
appropriate.
above the influence, so take me
You're
to
not gonna
a
like a
clean
rave. You're not a
I
clean rave.
Yeah.
It's sweaty people this
Fine,
close
I'll
together
go there
rubbing.
And I'll drink a lot.
That might be enough for you. That might be enough. Anyway, off topic. So after this thing happened, and even though this
So school
this whole
children
thing,
were out in recess.
Well, yeah, I'm getting to that, but
Oh,
but what
Because you
what
said this is what happened, and I'm like, did I fucking miss
no,
it?
no, no. Well, I'm giving you a background of what happened 2 days prior, and it sounds like it could be these other things. But these other things, especially the rocket disassembling or breaking off or whatever, I want you to hold on to that because that could have been the reason why this thing happened. If it was a rocket and not UFOs, that could be. So just follow me. I got you. I got you. So when this, so right after the rockets broke off, there was a bunch of calls coming in about this could potentially be a UFO, and there was actually a record of an alien being on the side of the road, like a trucker in Africa called it, and was like, I just saw this little thing walking by as I
What
was
if it
driving my
was
truck,
me?
right? Like just no, but what they were describing here was the same as what the children described.
Okay.
Small, what we would think the stereotypical of
Think they
for
can
the
swing?
for the viewers at home, what we call the grays, right? So it's gray skin, big black eyes, small mouth,
Give me
large
chills.
head, right? Like can't tell sex just by looking at them. They're all kind of
Gender's a
monogamous, especially for them, right? So now we're jumping forward 2 days to what actually happened with these children, right? So on September 16th, the kids were outside on their mid-morning break around 10 a.m., right around
Wish
this
I had a
time.
mid-morning break.
Don't we all? So the children are actually outside, and the faculty were actually having a meeting when this happened.
Damn, they left the
Right.
kids outside on their own?
We have to understand, like this we're not talking about what we think a school, like how the huge schools we have here. This is a private.
Okay, there's still nobody
Zimbabwean?
watching the kids.
What do you call a person from Zimbabwean? Zimbabwean? What?
Zimbabwean?
Win? The Zimbabs. That's what I'm calling you, Zimbabs. The Zimbabs were in their meeting, but it's a small. I don't fucking know. We're in this meeting, but they still have visual aid to the children outside, right?
They're like, they're good.
Yeah, because it's a small school.
Okay.
And especially private schools are small in general.
But wasn't it
Imagine
like
in
62
Zimbabwe.
kids? That's a lot of kids.
It's a lot of kids. The ratio not on point.
We have at least 50 out there.
So this entire incident that I'm about to describe happened in a 15-minute window.
Oh, that's a long time.
To be where they were, yes, absolutely. So I'll describe what actually happened here in a little bit, but to the teachers or the faculty, this is what happened. After they're on their break, in about 15 minutes, all the kids come back in and go,
Yo!
you are not going to believe what just happened. And the faculty was like, nah, we're not taking that seriously, right? So the kids go home, tell their parents, and 62-ish parents, ballpark, are going back to the school the next day going, what the hell happened yesterday? And they're like, oh, I don't know. They were saying all these crazy things, right? So
They didn't take into account that all the damn kids came in saying the same thing.
So here, this is where the kicker is, right? So it then gets out. So the parents start getting a hold of news outlets in Zimbabwe. It's like, my kids are saying this, my kids are saying this. It gets
World
picked
Star.
up, right? So it eventually gets picked up by a ZBC radio host. I'm assuming ZBC is Zimbabwean Broadcast Communications.
Zebras.
I'm guessing. I didn't look, So a woman by the name of Cynthia Hind learned about it and goes and interviews the kids then like very soon after this happens, right? And when she was interviewing the children, she interviewed all of them. They were all telling similar stories, and they're like, oh, so basically, before I get there, this is what happened, right? They were outside playing. At least one or two craft lands. Lands on the field near the children.
Fucking not the
They-
fucking parents. The fucking teachers didn't miss all that. What you mean? I was keeping an eye on them.
That's a great. Hold on to that. I'm getting to that. The beings get out of the spacecraft. They walk towards the children. Some of which,
That's really pedo behavior.
what was crazy is
Yeah,
they're,
candies
they're,
and puppies in there too.
I mean, now you're they're they're not diddling the kids. I'm just saying.
Sus place to stop.
I'm just saying. Well, but here's. Just give me a minute, man. So they get out. Some of which, a handful of kids, actually got in arm's reach of these beings.
Oh,
so
fuck
they're
that.
Almost face to face with these cats,
Oh,
right?
fuck that. I'm going inside. I'm like, I don't.
The aliens start speaking telepathy to these children's. Children's,
Oh
I
my
put an
God.
S on it.
They're like
and they were telling.
Voldemort.
Yeah, I mean less creepy. I think he did worse for children than what these.
I mean, did he?
He murdered so many. Anyway, get off. So they told the children allegedly that your technology is killing the planet.
Oh
And
shit!
y'all
they're
are
green
in trouble.
friendly?
So when that rocket was disembarking,
And
if
all
that's
these
the right
kids
term,
grew up to
and,
be
and all
green
that
activists.
and all that stuff, they told that what your technology and what you're doing is killing the planet, and basically you aren't going to survive. Y'all need to fix this. And the theory is the reason they were telling the children is because they weren't. There's no point of telling fucking
People
old
that are
people.
ruining it.
Yeah, old people like stop now. Like no, we got to tell the children, or at least that's what the theory
That'll
is.
fucking
That-
make me
that-
recycle.
Right. So they see these people, right? Miss Hind or Mrs. Hind at the point, or at the time, I'm not sure, told the children to draw what you saw, right? Not just don't tell me you have a convincing story. Y'all are all saying relatively the same thing. Some of the kids, because it was 62 children, right?
Yeah.
Some of the kids didn't have the telepathy in them, right?
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sure they didn't have Wi-Fi, right? A nice broadband to get it to all
They
60.
didn't have Fios?
And in the 94, no, they didn't have dial-up, especially in Zimbabwe. I doubt. So they couldn't
Imagine being the
they
three
couldn't
kids
they couldn't
that didn't
Bluetooth.
hear-
Hey guys, I want to play kickball. Like no, they're just listening. So some of them.
What are you guys doing?
There are some discrepancies in the story about people not having telepathy engagement or being that far away from him, but this is what was all compiled,
Maybe
right?
the aliens know that those kids wouldn't have listened anyways.
Yeah, that kid eats paint. I'm not gonna.
I'm not
what a-
wasting my time
I'm
with
gonna tell
that
him.
one.
I'm gonna tell him to save the
So
earth.
fuck that
He
kid.
can't even tie his own shoes yet.
Right.
Because we're talking about children, 6 to 12. I mean,
Yeah.
this is not. Yeah. So the picture.
So they had older
so,
kids?
6 to 12. This is the range. 6 to 12. So we're talking what 6? First grade,
Yeah.
second
So-
grade, something like that, and then
so.
12 is 6th grade, 7th,
Yeah.
6th grade, around that. So
Yeah.
that range of children, right? So they all drew the people she was asked to draw all drew similar pictures, right? Trying to figure out if this story is true or not, right? So after this was reported by her, a man by the name of Tim Leach, who was the BBC correspondent in Zimbabwe, visited the school 3 days later. He picked it up, heard this, he goes, I gotta get down there.
Yeah.
If this is really true, we gotta. And he films, and you can actually watch these interviews that were done, because he films all this. And after he interviewed all the children, and there are some kind of sketchy interviewing tactics that he used, right? But it's 62 children. That's my thing. We'll get to that. After he interviewed all the children, he claimed, I could handle war zones, but I couldn't handle this.
Yeah, because it feels like fake. It feels like scary.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying he was in the field watching people get blown up, right? And
Yeah, but that's
but
something
this
you
was
know.
and this was a story that was like
But you got 62 kids drawing shit like that.
so because of his interview, a guy by the name of John Mack, who is the Harvard professor of
Sorry, our director's making his boobs dance. Sorry.
It's okay, I need a drink. So, anyways,
Fucking Andrew.
oh, are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. So John Mack heard about the BBC. So this is
Who's
kind
John
of
Mack?
kind of like I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. So it's kind of like a ripple effect, right? Like it gets from one interview to another, and the story just keeps growing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So John Mack, who's the Harvard professor of psychiatry, got wind of the story,
He's like, fuck,
and
I gotta
he
go.
well, he's like, I'm gonna settle this shit right now. Like I'm into psychiatry. I'm gonna see what's going on
Did you
with
say
these
I'm
kids.
into psychiatry?
Well, yeah, he's a Harvard. I'm into it. If you're a Harvard professor, you got to be into it, right?
Said I'm into this shit a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
So I'm gonna go to Zimbabwe. Check out the sites, meet the children. And he goes, I'm gonna interview the kids because this sounds like hogwash to me or whatever. So, but he did have an interest in abductions and investigated the UFOs all throughout
I
the
thought you were
90s.
gonna say children abductions for a second. I
Oh
was
no,
like,
just
wait a minute.
UFO abductions, right? So, according to the interviews done by the first person, Miss Hind, Leach, and then himself, the 62 children have claimed, like I said, to have seen one UFO.
One UFOs.
Yeah, well, some of them said there could have been more, but they were so distracted, they weren't sure,
But
right?
yeah, imagine how confused you're out there playing kickball, wrecking shit,
I mean, probably soccer, right?
out there playing soccer.
Yeah, I mean, let's.
Smoking kids.
Let's-
when that
let's-
shit happens.
So the craft landed by a field of brush and small trees just outside the property. Anywhere from 1 to 4 creatures got out. Big eyes dressed in all black approached the children. At some point, some of the children dipped. Right, they're like,
Yeah.
I'm out.
Those are the smart ones.
Oh,
I ain't
that-
doing this shit, bye.
Would that have been you? That
Yeah.
ran?
Yeah, I'd be like, nope.
I'd have stayed. 100%.
I'm Catholic, I can't, bye.
Like, what are the odds? I'm so.
No.
What if they were like, me too?
Then I'd be like,
Praise the Lord.
What's for church?
Jesus.
you gonna say Marx?
Jesus actually is our kind. Another episode later, maybe. You never know.
Is Jesus an alien?
Leech.
Tune in next week.
It's actually I'm not going to get into that right
I'm
now.
Sure
Right.
It is. I'm sure it is.
So,
He's fucking
according.
lit. What if Jesus was the alien that murked Granger?
I mean, probably Judas, though, right? Like, if we had to pin it on anyone, it was probably Judas. He was like, I'm the only earthling that could be in here. Whoops. Zwoosh, like, Independence Day just blew up that sweet ride
But
he
Jesus
had.
didn't do no miracles. You know, the first miracle Jesus did was make water into wine.
I'm
He's
sure
a
you-
party animal.
I'm sure you were happy about that.
I sure was.
Uh-huh.
Communion.
That's what got you on it. Cleanse me of my sins, Poppy.
Oh. Why are we sexually harassing Jesus?
If there's
You think they say
anyone,
Poppy in the Middle East?
you're right. You're right. You're right. So anyways, according to Mac's interview, right, the telepathy that was communicated, once again, was an environmental message, and a 5th grader actually said that something, according to them, something was about to happen, and that pollution mustn't be. An 11-year-old girl said, I think they wanted people to know that we're actually making harm on this world, and we mustn't get too technological.
Oh, shit.
Right? One child said that he was told the world would end because they're not taking care of the planet.
I mean, where's the lie?
Right. And this is the part that I found super interesting, right? Because it's Africa, early to mid 90s, right? You have mostly white children and black children as well, or people, POC children saying this. And they actually found that the cultural background actually gave a different insight to what they thought they originally saw when they were speaking to these children, right? So when they spoke to the POC children, they actually gave a different interpretation. The POC children thought that the short beings were, I'm going to butcher this, I'm so sorry, were Tikulashes, a creature in Shono and Nebele, I'm so sorry, I'm trying my best. Nebele folklore, which are dwarf-like water sprites.
Fuck, they're duendes?
Essentially, yeah. So, which are considered mischievous and evil spirit. That
Yeah.
I thought
duendes.
I thought this was funny.
If you're a duende, don't hit me up, bro.
They can become invisible by drinking water or swallowing a stone. Like
They swallow?
enough to become invisible. Hashtag swallow
Swallow.
enough.
Become invisible.
Yeah,
Brought to you by swallowing.
water or a stone. Hey, I don't have water to turn invisible.
See, that's
We
why
got a stone.
I trust whatever the POC children are saying.
Right. So this instance became one of the most famous
Kids would think it's aliens. Maybe it's fucking
U-
duendes.
UFO. But no, but here's the thing though. So we're talking about 6 to 12-year-old children, right? They actually revisited these children, I believe in 2020, to talk to them because it's been what? So if you're 6 in 94, you'd be 30 in 2024. So they're almost 30. I'm not doing the math right now, but they're all
I would
so they're mid, anywhere from mid 20s to mid 30s right now. These are grown adults now.
I would
They're
shit
still
myself.
alive. They're still exactly. So they went to
I'd walk out of wherever I was, like, nope. I walked out back then, I'm walking out again. Nope.
yeah. So they interviewed the children, right? So when you're young, right, you believe in a lot of things that you're taught, right? So these 6 12-year-olds are now older, and every single one of them goes, it was hard doing these interviews when I was a child because I didn't have the knowledge
I didn't have
or the words to express
yeah.
it. But now I can, after living with it for almost 20, 30 years, I can honestly say that this was an alien. We were visited
Not
by
the aliens visited them. I thought that's what you meant, that the aliens came back and visited them.
Oh
as
no.
adults.
They looked back at the event that happened to them as
okay.
children.
Okay,
And
now
they were like,
they got
this
interviewed
happened.
again as adults.
Yes, and they're like, yeah, I know. I said these were dwarf-like water sprites,
Yeah.
Tikoloshes, but we were visited by extraterrestrial beings. Like this actually happened. They spoke to us.
That's creepy.
And I don't know if you remember watching the documentary The Phenomenon, which is a very good documentary that you should watch. And it
There's
covers...
also a documentary on Spaceman. I just don't know where because I tried to find it. And I didn't find it.
Yeah, find it.
Please tag me in it.
Tag us in it. But The Phenomenon was actually a really great documentary that I watched. I'm one of those suckers that if it's a topic, I'm going to enjoy it regardless. Was it the best? Not to be an asshole, I'm sure you did better than what I could make. It was good, but what caught me about the documentary, because it covers a lot of different stories, but the one that hooked me into the documentary was this story about the school children in Zimbabwe. So the documentary group interviewed the children
/
adults now, and while they were filming, this was the craziest part of the whole documentary, was the fact that the headmistress of the school, who was actually a teacher when this happened,
Yeah.
she's a headmistress now, allowed them to come to the school again to where it all happened, interview the children that were there, right? Interviewed all the children, it goes great, and so they're about to wrap up, right? They're about to, all right, we got what we needed,
Audio
right?
got fucked.
No.
Oh.
The headmistress goes, hey, can you interview me? I was a teacher there when this all happened. Can you interview me as well? And they were like,
Hell
yeah, sure.
yeah.
I mean, it would be, and worst comes to worst, we don't use the footage, right? So they set her up, and she got on and basically apologized to the children.
For not believing them?
They said at the time we didn't believe them, and we told them to keep their mouth shut because we didn't want this prestigious school to be a mockery or a quack or anything like that.
Bullshit. That
And so
discourages them from coming forward with anything. It fucks them.
Yeah, 100%. And she was quoted saying that
I'll jump right.
I'm now, well, she came clean. She goes, we were visited. This happened. So while they were having the meeting, she saw this happen.
She saw it
From-
and didn't vouch for them?
Nope, not then.
Fuck her, dude.
Right.
Fuck her. I'd be like, nah, I saw that shit too.
I mean, she came clean, and you know, a lot of the
5
kids,
billion years later.
and a lot of the kids forgave her, and so that's a nice
Not me.
little.
I'd be like, you let my parents think I was a weirdo?
Yeah, she said
Imagine that prom.
we were visited by aliens. She saw them and was freaked out, and that's kind of
Yeah, and
where
then said,
it was.
fuck the kids.
And so she was living with it, and so I want to talk about, you know, going back to the skeptics as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
There have been claims that the interview techniques done by the people that interviewed the children wasn't exactly what you would call, I don't want to say unprofessional, but not the best interviewing techniques.
Not how I
Right.
guess a psychiatrist would interview a child. Like,
Yes, so a lot of them were filmed in groups, so it could have been like
They were
the
hearing each
mob
other.
theory and stuff like that, right? But what changes, so that could have happened, absolutely. But the drawings, they all drew. I mean, what kind of criminal masterminds are we giving 6 to 12-year-olds? I know they're capable, but are you telling me 62 children
are gonna draw the same thing? That's bullshit.
You know what I mean? Like, so there are weird things that could be attributed to you know, what's the word? Influences to try to make it grow or whatever. So I want to be fair by saying those things, but there's just so much here that I don't know. It's absolutely wild. I mean, because there's not a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of, if we're talking about the different kinds of UFO close encounters. There's tons of first and second, right? We're like thousands of people. We're like, yeah, I saw the first.
Fucking guy over here talking to you.
No, this was a third.
This was a third.
Third,
Even
yeah.
if they talked to you.
Yeah, that's still
I need to
third.
rewatch that movie.
Fourth is abduction. You got done took.
Don't take me, bro.
You're gone. They didn't take 62 children, but they had a
Thank God.
62 children had a close encounter of the
Low
third
key, if I
kind.
was an alien, I'd take them. I'm like, nah, y'all are fucking these kids up. Let's go. Y'all aren't even watching them. Get in there. Get in
Right.
the ship. Come on. You're going to our zoos.
I can show you the universe. Yep. So it's absolutely wild, and I kind of wanted to now kind of give a brief kind of story of my personal experience with potentially the outside world. I don't know if do you have any personal experience or stories
No.
from your family from UFOs or anything like that, aliens or none of that, right? So I have two, but the first one, who knows? Right, well, both obviously, who knows? But the first one, basically, I got hammered in Mexico, as most great stories start. Blacked out in the ocean, and I woke up in my bed, no homo, next to my brother, right?
How do
Because he took me. Well, yeah, I woke up next to my brother, and people in Alabama were going, hell yeah, you know.
No, that's if
I
you
don't-
wake up
I
next
don't-
to your sister.
Hey man, if you ain't got a sister, you got a brother. A hole's a hole.
If anyone's gonna fuck
my brother-
sister, it's
oh. Shit. Well, I thought we were connecting
Damn.
with the.
No, we're real.
So
Our chemistry is not good today.
I think it's great when it's like this. This is perfect. So anyway, so I woke up, couldn't move. I saw a dark figure next to me, and he stuck me in the ribs with a sharp object. It hurt so bad, but I couldn't scream. And then once he pulled it out and left, I finally was able to sit up, and I woke up my brother going, what the fuck just happened, right?
He's like, I just probed you, bro.
Went home, did some research, found out that it was probably sleep apnea. Not sleep apnea. What's not the snoring.
Sleep
No.
Sleep
no.
paralysis.
Yes, because apparently people have the same sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah, it's been
That's similar.
Yeah, it's been like drawn over.
Yeah, and I've seen the figures, and it looked just like that. I'm like, well, fuck, right? But all the things that I've researched, and if I'm wrong, please comment below and share your story. But I haven't read a story or heard a story other than my own where someone actually got stuck by something. Like, I can still remember that pain. And whether this is a coincidence or not, that same side was where my lung collapsed on the exact same side. So, I don't know. Could be a coincidence. Anyways, but I didn't want to get to that.
Sounds like fake news.
That's it. Could be. I'm very willing to admit that that was just sleep paralysis, and that's what it was. But the other one, and I'll share the video when I can. Right. The other one that I always believed aliens existed, like the possibility of it, like of course. But what turned me into like a true believer of it all was I was.
When you got abducted.
No, not even that. I was just like, yeah, that's fucking weird. It's probably sleep paralysis. Who has apnea? I was at my dad's house, and my dad saw it. Our friend Robert saw it, who's a family friend, but it's more closely connected to my dad. But we were all there. They were drinking. I wasn't. We were out on the patio, and I look up, and I see this ball of light just scooting, like booking it across the sky. And I go, and even at night when you see a plane, like what you should have seen that night, you see a little blinking dot, because all regulated flights have that blinking dot, right? This didn't have that. It was just a ball of light just going and booking it above. And I have two videos of a close up, and I have a long shot of it, and y'all can figure out. Well, I'll try to post it later. And so I let them know. I go, what the fuck is that? And this thing kept going and would disappear and just go, and it would keep coming back and circling.
Fuck that.
And we had no idea. It was like, this is fucking. And so after the third time it came back,
I'd go outside after the first time.
that's when I hit record, and it kept changing color. It would be a red. It would be a blue.
It was them having a rave
it was this crazy thing that and once again, skeptics are going to be like, yeah, it was a drone, whatever. I'm like, no, this was high. Like this was insane, right? And I would attribute it to a drone. I really would. And the one part I didn't record, and you're just gonna have to take me saying this as true. But if you ever meet my dad or Robert, you can talk to them as well. But what made me believe was after it kept coming, the last time that it came back and never came back again, I swear to you, about 5 minutes later, there were fighter jets flying over our house, and it was the loudest thing. They were low, not a plane, a jet going just right over our house, flying low. They were chasing this thing. And of course, I didn't get it on camera because I didn't think fighter jets would be coming. But I got the video of the light, and once again, I'll share it. But like, that's what creeped me out most, was hearing the fighter jets above the house. And after that, I was like, they 100% exist. I'm in this shit now. I'm doing all this research, and this is what.
Now we have Conspirio.
And now we have Conspirio. So shout out to Unglar, or whatever the hell your name is, that flew the plane.
Nope, I'm not talking to them.
100% hit me up. If that was you sticking me with something, you did a fucked up job. It collapsed my lung.
Stick him.
Get on your game.
It was the same guy that abducted Granger.
Maybe, yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
Jesus.
What was my voice for him? Oh, hey man, I suck it in too far into his lungs. Oh, dude, gotta give me a better needle.
Fuck you, lot. You blew up Granger, and now you're stabbing Addison.
Oh, come on, man. Now he's gonna die. Oh, poor guy. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. It's just absolutely.
Yeah, fuck that. Don't hit me up. Don't look at me. I don't exist.
See, I don't understand how you don't have that same attitude about ghosts. Like that's what I'm like. I'm like, fuck that.
Me. They ain't done nothing to me. What they done to me?
Being creepy. I don't know.
Okay, it's better than getting probed and abducted and lasered and shanked. What is this, the hood?
I'm so hood. No, I get it. Yeah, I guess, I mean, that's just
fuck that.
Our differences.
Aliens just
like,
say, what's up, flicker my lights, mess with my audio.
But I know like an alien is intact, though. That's the thing. I know it's a thing.
Yeah, that's gonna come fuck you up.
Yeah, but ghosts, I'm just like, you can't even...
Yeah, well, think about it. They can't do it to you either.
You don't know that. There are people that have...
My
bringing it back, have had sex with ghosts.
said that people that are alive are way scarier than
There's a whole
things that are dead.
there's a whole article you can read about celebrities who have had sex with ghosts. I swear to you, I read it and it's true.
If they had that good D or that good V, whatever.
Just saying.
Okay.
Hashtag ghost fuck.
It's fine with me. It's better than getting abducted and lasered and probed.
I don't know. Like, how do ghost babies work? Like, how do you?
I don't know, the Antichrist.
Whoa. Next episode, we're gonna talk about ghost fucking and antichrist. No, sorry. But yeah, I mean, I'm so glad we did this episode. I've been waiting for an alien episode, and I can't wait for our next one because I kind of like this idea of tackling individual stories instead of going so broad. We go to specifics, and
We've never gone broad.
I'm blown away. Hey, broad. I'm blown away by your story. Your story was crazy, and I don't know, what would you think of the children?
I think they were fucking telling the truth, and I think people should listen to fucking children. They don't have no weird art. It's not like they're lobbyists. Like, children lobbyists.
That's the hashtag. Listen to children.
Yes, believe children, listen to children. They're not lobbyists. Low key though, if someone offered me like $20 when I was that age, I would so be like, hell yeah, I saw some aliens come down. But nobody offered these kids money.
No, not at all. Like I said, you can question the
Believe
practices,
kids,
but like
fuck that teacher,
do you-
support kids.
because my thing is like they're
And then
they're
she's
blaming
like, I want my 5 fucking minutes of fame. Sorry.
they're
She
blaming
grinded
they're blaming
my
the
gears.
interview techniques. I'm like, how are you supposed to interview 62 children
About
in
aliens.
in Zimbabwe? Like, where's the funding? Like, of course you're like, all right, let's wrap this up. What do we got?
They didn't have
So-
Space Force.
Hashtag I support Space Force for real. Like,
Space Force. If you want to hit me up, I'll join.
Oh. this episode is brought to you by no.
Space Force.
All right, well, thank y'all so much for stopping by. Stay tuned. We're going to be recording another episode of Alleged Confessions, which I'm very excited about. Please stay tuned, and let's do the shameless plugs right now.
Right?
Follow us on Instagram at Conspirial_podcast.
Follow us on TikTok at Conspirial.
Our email, of course, with any suggestions you want to hear, any comments, anything we've gotten wrong that
Any
you
hate mail.
and bring on all the hate mail. Aliens, you can reach us at conspirial@gmail.com.
Jack Harlow, you can also reach me at conspirial@gmail.com.
What if he's an alien?
Fuck that.
I'm just saying. Well, no, that's what you wanted. Anyway, our Facebook is just Conspirial, and our YouTube, obviously, is Conspirial Podcast. And Conspirial is spelled CONSIPIR. Did I mess up that spelling? I thought I got that spelling, didn't I? Take 2. CONSPIRIAL. Conspirial.
And you can follow me at Anna Dez on Instagram at ANNADEZ.
And you can follow me on TikTok at Sir Addison Rose. And then on Facebook, Addison Rose Comedy. Thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you next week.
If we don't get abducted,
Oh my god, we gotta take our phones with us if we get abducted. We gotta.
I ain't going.
Oh, I don't think you have a choice.
I'm going.
It's
I'm
not like,
no.
no, I'm good.
Nah,
Not
I ain't
going.
going. All right. Bye.
Bye, y'all.